Shalom. First off, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Yahweh being the true name of Heavenly Father, Yahushai being the name of His only begotten Son, who the world regularly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to our apostles, double honors to our elders, the great millstone that taught us truth and will well. And salutations to you, hopeful elect, wishing us truth and honesty and sincerity. This is Brother Yosat, continuing the lessons of the Spirit power, Yahushai. And lessons to the Spirit. I had a couple back-to-back dreams of the destruction as far as society being collapsed and everything kind of in turmoil, and for me to have back-to-back dreams like that, just it's kind of like take it as a message that there's a definitely, impending judgment that's going to come. And, with everything going on in the world, as far as things that Trump's doing and the mindset of the people and the state of this economy, it makes sense that we're about to experience a lot of these things. And we're so close. This place, really going down for real. Because it's one thing you have a dream, but when you start having dreams like back to back, that's something to kind of pay attention to, especially when they're very similar. So the first dream I had, I was basically sitting, I was fishing, at the lake, but I was in the wintertime, and I was fishing on top of the lake. And I remember it was weird, man. I was sitting on this couch, as I was fishing, and the ice began to kind of break. And I just remember kind of not having any fear of the ice breaking. I was like, oh, well, it's part of the process, It's going to still continue to fish, continue to do so, pull something out, toss it on the shore. Then the ice kind of broke, the piece of ice that I was on, it kind of stayed afloat. But I wasn't really afraid about falling in the water, even though the water was like freezing cold. It was in the winter, but I was like, you know what, I got faith that the Lord got my back. And sure enough, some of the brothers, kind of appeared in the dream. And as the water began to kind of rotate in like a spiral, like a whirlpool type thing, and something just told me, don't be afraid at all about what's going to happen. You're not about to drown, you're not about to freeze to death, none of that. And I just kind of reached my hand out, and one of the brothers was there and grabbed me and pulled me right out of it, And from there, the dream kind of jumped to a scene of basically the inner cities just being kind of torn down, destroyed, kind of like The Walking Dead. But me and the Akim were told to basically go and hunt down, some of the wicked. And the Lord granted us spiritual powers to do so. And within the scriptures talk about, your feet shall be, basically roughly paraphrasing, as dove's feet, jumping, flying and stuff like that. Every brother had spiritual abilities to just go through the city. And we're going through the city that's kind of destroyed. And we came across this big building, and I remember just jumping, to the building, and brothers just basically punched the whole side of the building through to go grab out some of the wicked elite, But one thing that took note is just the destruction, in the midst of destruction of everything that was kind of thrown at you, of where you could be faced to be tested, of fear, of worry. The Spirit was kind of exercising that to just not be afraid. Fishing, and ice fishing, that is. We're kind of right now we're as fishermen, we're trying to fish for the hopeful elect. But it's going to be challenging, and it can be uncomfortable. Because I was ice fishing, and then the ice began to break. But you got to hold fast to your faith and stay focused on the task, even in the midst of it may seem that all hell is going to break loose. Something definitely is getting ready to fold soon. But as long as you lean on the brotherhood and you continue to do this work, this ministry, you'll be rewarded with power. And then the next day, had another dream, man. And it basically World War III had began. I can't remember all the dream. I should have just start getting more in the habit of writing things down. So sometimes when I have a dream, I'll write it down so I can remember it, because it's actually been a while since I've had, heavy visions of the end, and basically World War III had begun. America had been attacked. Martial law had been activated. There were highways that were shut down. People were rationing out food. They didn't have any money. And everybody was kind of in a desperation of panic because they shut down all the highways and they shut down all flights. And I just remember trying to track down one of my seeds and trying to get to him in the vision, but Isaiah 4:1 was kind of into play, so you had women that were kind of gravitating towards the men of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for protection, but chaos had begun, man, and it just kind of felt so real, man, but those are basically in the gist of it, the two dreams that I had. In both dreams, America was faced with destruction, so this is something that can be coming real soon, You don't want to get too comfortable in this thing while you fishing, because I was fishing like on this couch, but soon and lo and behold, ice began to crack, and then things began to shift up and move. So we got to be ready, to go and really deal with adversity real soon, because right now we have some comforts, we have some luxuries, even though we may be faced with uncomfortable conditions sometimes that we're out there prophesying, in freezing cold or extremely hot summers, and we get ridiculed a lot. People look down on us, so but in the midst of it all, we're still able to generally prophesy comfortably. But things are about to shake up real soon, so you got to be ready for that. Okay, we're going to be we're entering to a next phase of this ministry. We got to be ready to let go of things. We're going to lose, take some losses, but we're going to get a lot of W's too, man. Okay, so what I want to read is in the book of 2nd Esdras, that kind of goes into Jacob's trouble a little bit and destruction. Okay. But before we get into that, let's read Joel real quick. Joel 2:1. It says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain, that all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand," meaning it is close. The day of Yahweh is darkness and destruction. Judgment. People losing their lives. And like I said, those dreams felt really real, man, back to back like that. And both in general talk about the destruction of America and just people trying to survive, man. The day it's coming. It's so close. You got planes falling out the sky everywhere, economy getting ready to crash. You had 3 T attacks over there in Israel where buses were blown up. So that war is brewing heavily. You got the United States is continuing to make enemies with allies that it had between Mexico and Canada. So this shit is about to get real interesting, man. The day is coming, man. So we're blowing the trumpet right now. We're warning you people, something's coming. It says, "A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations." Right, a day of thick darkness and gloominess, man. That day is not going to be like a cakewalk, but the Lord's servants shall drink and rejoice, the scriptures say. So we're going to be okay, but we're not going to come out unscathed. We're going to take some licks, man. Okay, it says, "A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them." Okay, and ultimate, the fire that's coming is thermonuclear destruction, the bombs. That's the end all be all, and we're getting so close to that. So close. This is 2nd Esdras, 15th chapter. We'll start at verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Okay, woe goes into destruction, war. Okay, judgment. It says, for a sword in their destruction draweth nigh. Oh, there it goes, that coming close thing. It says, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So this is talking about acts of war, civil war, and war between nations. Okay, those modern day swords in their hands is going into your modern day sword is your gun, your rifle. Okay, these weapons of destruction. So these people are going to be fighting one another, and especially when the economy crashes, people are going to be kicking each other's doors for food, man, or whatever, or even just to snatch up women and have their way with them. Okay, it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Now, you go into that word sedition, it goes into uproar against the established order. So people fighting against the government. Okay? Rioting. Protesting. Okay? And it's going to be violent. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And I was mentioning that part of my dream. People couldn't leave, so I was trying to figure out how I was going to be able to, use transportation to get to one of my seeds, But I was just, that was it right there. People were desiring to go into a city and can't, So here in Kansas City, Missouri, there's multiple cities out here. You got Overland Park, you got Kansas City, Kansas, you got Lee's Summit, Overland Park is more on the Kansas side, but, and all these cities are approximately, 30 minutes between one another. Even cities like that, close cities, you won't be able to just use by car travel to. Them highways going to be shut down. It says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right, man? So they're not going to feel bad for their neighbors. They don't give a damn about them. They don't care if you've been living next to that neighbor for 20, 30 plus years. Might have went to barbecues together, did holidays together. They're not going to care. These people, when their stomach begins to touch their back, they're going to lose their minds, man. Lose their minds. They're going to turn into animals. You're even going to have people that's going to turn into cannibalism. And then great tribulation, not having any money, not having any electricity anymore. All these things are coming. Okay, so because of that, people are going to be killing one another. It says, behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them. Right, so the Lord is going to cause a lot of these nations to fight one another and kill one another for what they've done to the children of Israel, man. Okay. So yeah, people gotta prepare yourselves, man. It's gonna get rough out here if you're not grounded within the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. You're not gonna have that divine intervention, which you're gonna need to survive. Okay. So just a quick hit lesson, kind of a little bit of a testimony of that dream I had. Lord's will was edifying. I'm gonna go ahead and close out. We'll give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Dip on us, our apostles and elders, great millstone, touch us truth and will well. And citation to hope, like, truth, and honesty, sincerity. Shalom.